there are inevitably bumps and unexpected things that happen during road trips. On this long road trip, it included surgery for a family member that kept me there longer. And then my darling Emma, she had her anniversary with her boyfriend, plus she had a job interview. So we weren't able to leave early in the morning, as is something that I like to do. I would like to hear what you would do if you were in my situation. If you couldn't leave on time, how could you be faithful to your plan and yet flexible with how you made it work? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So in today's video, you will see me on my morning walk, a great new park that I visited that made me think, hey, I could live in this neighborhood. Hey, I could start a business in this neighborhood. Hey, this is a really cool neighborhood. I headed off to Barstow, which is an important part of the Route 66 story. So that's what you'll be seeing on this video as a kind of prequel to the rest of our road trip adventures. I'm so grateful that you're here watching. My time in Bakersfield stretched out longer than I hoped because my co-pilot daughter has a personal life, as I would hope any young woman in their 20s would have a nice personal life. So consequently, I went out in search of good sunrise locations in the town where I used to live. Okay, I need to reenact what I just did. This is what I just did. You can watch sunrise and work on an elliptical. Yeah, these two are ellipticals. I mean, what? Huh? And then your buddies, you can hang out here, bring coffee, walk with your friends, use the exercise machines. Barstow is a natural junction in the Mojave Desert where multiple transportation routes meet. It connects Los Angeles to points east on Route 66. It directs Route 66 travelers to Los Angeles, and it also is a major railway hub. Virtually everyone who crossed the Mojave Desert on Route 66 passed through Barstow. It became a critical test, refueling and resupplying point. This is what it looks like now. I know, it's not very exciting looking, but it is seriously important now and in the past. To tell you the truth, when I arrived at my destination, I was kind of glad Emma wasn't with me because I didn't think she would find it too terribly exciting. But it was, actually. Now, most of you know that I love trains, and before Route 66, Barstow was important because of the railroad. So they have a little bit of a museum, but after Altoona, it didn't really impact me very much, I'm sorry to say. Sorry, Barstow. I love the cars, but you need to look at Altoona's Railroad Museum. The Casa del Desierto in Barstow was one of Fred Harvey's magnificent Harvey houses, and in fact was a bridge between railways and Route 66. Here's how it looks now from the front. We took a tour of it, part of it, because it's now a part of the Route 66 Museum. Doesn't look nearly as fancy anymore, but I was encouraged to see what was inside. This fancy Route 66 numbers made me happy. I'm like, okay, we're close to something exciting. Here we go. In an earlier video, I talked about my parents being so afraid of the Mojave Desert. I learned that this was something many people who were on Route 66 talked about. It was legendary for how dangerous it was. The museum had lots of art and lots of imagery from that era, which was enjoyable to see, if not perfectly organized. It was fun. All the kitsch and all the history there on display. Eventually, it started to look like people said, okay, if you have anything from any time up to the 1990s, bring it on down to the museum. Charming. Very charming. And I always am one who likes to visit Harvey houses, as you will see as the road trip progresses. Maybe all this stuff gives us context. I did enjoy seeing a television like we had in my home in the 70s, but by this point I was like, okay, all right, I've had enough. Let me go see if I can find a pink Cadillac to ride around, a convertible, of course, and maybe I can go flirt with James Dean, or at least maybe a cutout of James Dean. Do you see that man in the middle there? That is James Daggett, who was once a governor of California and had a town, Daggett, named after him. I have stories about that place along what is now Route 40. It is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, and until this trip, I never realized the connection of Route 66, trains, and cars, and how these different modes of transportation sort of interacted and intersected with one another. Thankfully, the Route 66 Museum had an employee come over from the Victorville Museum, and she was quite a good hostess and encouraged me to, well, yes, you'll see me in a moment, I will get into that pink Cadillac. But first, look, a horse and buggy? Oh, yeah, I guess during this... Oh, wait, no, it's Lightning McQueen. That's what I was looking at. I had a museum worker as photographer. Emma might have been a little bit better at this, but it was fun. This is my first time in a pink car. I think it's pretty cool. What do you think? Now, this wasn't my first cuddling up time with James Dean. There was one with Emma that I could not find the photo of where I hoisted her up on a huge cutout of James Dean, but here we are. I was turning around in the parking lot. I just love this piece of, I think, a bit of a bridge. I'm a sucker for a bridge, but here we are at Casa del Desierto as it looks today. I tried to get a few shots for you. I did not spend much time inside. I really wasn't ready to do so. Now back to Route 66 of today. It really is not spectacular through Barstow, but I'm glad that they still honor the history. They have these little signs up every now and then, which is attractive enough, I suppose. And remember the Mojave Desert and how scary it is, or was, in the earlier days of Route 66? This is how it looks today. Probably pretty much the same. But at least I was able to go hang out at a bar in Bakersfield that night, that very first night. It was really a great way to end my time in Bakersfield. I look forward to returning. So I'm going to end this preview with a question and a few clips from future moments in time along the journey so that you'll be sure to come back and see the rest. I'm wondering, do you have any questions about Route 66? If you have any questions or any stories, please feel free to comment about those. And I may do a roundup at the end of the series. I think it would be a lot of fun to incorporate some of your stuff in there. In fact, if you have any memories or any photos or anything like that, if you want to make a quick video clip, I could do a compilation including you in the end. One of my friends, Kim at Getting Bolder, did a series on Route 66, I think a while ago. I'm guessing it was, I can't remember exactly when, but that was really cool to see her take on it. Some favorites already, which were probably different than hers. And it's all good. It's all cool. I love different perspectives, which is why I'm asking you if you have any Route 66 stories you'd like to share. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this first preview video. I look forward to having you in the passenger seat once again, because my trips are so much fun when you're along with me. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you along Route 66 as the golden state of mind goes all the way home to the Garden State. Thanks for watching.